If you have multiple children that are born together and you are looking for scholarships for them, you might be extremely excited to hear that there are opportunities out there, especially since you have double or triple the cost of college because you have more than one going at the same time. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System and Debt Free Degree Lab, where we redefine paying for college to help families build strong financial futures. Now, those of you with multiple children in college at the same time, and I'm specifically focused on twins or multiples in this instance, but even if you have multiple in different years, regardless, multiple children in college at the same time is expensive. So we want to find as much money as we can out there. So that's what I'm going to focus on in today's video, on what kind of scholarships are available to twins or multiples that have a sibling that they share the world with, and we will get into that in just a moment. Now make sure you hit subscribe because every single week we release a new strategy to help you and your students work towards that debt-free degree. Now, families with twins, multiples of any number, often worry about paying for college a little bit more than the rest because they have more expenses. They have more that they have to pay for college. So if you're in that boat, then you're probably listening thinking, yeah, we're a little worried. Now, the good news is that there are scholarships out there for twins and multiples. These might not be the most common, but in today's video, I'll let you know how to go about any kind of scholarships, especially those for twins and multiples. Now, comment below, do you have multiples? If so, how many? And what school year are they heading into? So if they're a senior, are they going to college next fall? Let us know in the comments below. Maybe we can connect with another parent that's going through this and just relate and maybe help each other out. Now, the biggest piece of advice that I want to share before applying for any kind of scholarships is to make sure that your student that applies, or students, actually meet the criteria. So some scholarships might require both twins to apply, or maybe they may require only one, but they must be a multiple. No matter what it is, make sure that your student actually meets the requirements. Otherwise, they're just wasting their time. You're wasting the committee's time. They're not going to get any money from it. I'd rather them focus on the ones that they're actually eligible for, and that's just a better use of our time, therefore increasing the chances of us actually getting a yes. Now, generally, we categorize scholarships into two different areas. One is institutional or merit-based scholarships. These are scholarship awards awarded by the universities themselves. So your students might be able to attend the same university, and therefore they may get a multiples discount or a scholarship for being a multiple. So in this instance, it's more because you're sending multiple children to the same institution versus it being because they are a twin or a multiple. One example here is Johnson & Wales. They actually have a family scholarship where two or more siblings, if they enroll in the institution, can receive a scholarship. Now, this might potentially save your family tens of thousands of dollars over the 4 years. So you definitely, if you have multiple children that will be in school at the same time, definitely look into this discount. Now, to look into it, you will want to contact the financial aid office. They may have some information on their website as well, but I suggest always picking up the phone, making a quick call, because nothing will be as helpful as a quick conversation with the financial aid department. Now, one other resource that might help you here is a video that I created on the net price calculator. This is where you can uncover the net price, the bottom line price for your student to attend a certain school. So we'll link to that in the description. It might pop up somewhere here on the screen as well, but check out that video so that you can see how to understand what your actual cost at a university will be. Hint, hint, very rarely is it what's on the website. Okay, so the first type of scholarship we talked about were merit or institutional-based scholarships. Now let's get into the second type, and that is private or external scholarships. They can be called outside scholarships. These all refer to the same thing, where they are scholarships given outside of the institution, and they can be awarded for anything. This is where you hear about those duct tape scholarships, or just funny vacuum scholarships or left-hand scholarships. Well, the good news is that there are scholarships out there for multiples and for twins. Now, before I get into it more, I do want to let you know that we have a free training. It's about an hour long, where I cover my 6 steps to securing scholarships quickly for college so that your student can avoid that student loan debt. So I really recommend checking out that training because I'll show you how to use my specific search method to uncover these legitimate scholarships that are from outside sources. So again, make sure you register for that training, or you can go to thescholarshipsystem.com/free training. Now, these external scholarships can be awarded by so many different places and businesses and organizations: Elks Club, Rotary Club, bank unions, doctors' offices, you name it. One specifically that we found is actually supported by a twins festival. It is called the Andrew R. Miller Memorial Scholarship. Andrew R. Miller Memorial Scholarship. There we go. That's a tongue twister. So that is just one example where it is funded by the Twins Festival, and it doesn't necessarily mean that your student has to go there. That's just where they get the money. Now, we actually have a whole blog with 11 scholarships specifically for twins and multiples, so we will link to that in the description as well. So we're giving you an actual list, but again, if you attend that free training, you'll learn how to find more options for your students. So that said, the last point I want to make is actually that focusing on scholarships for twins or multiples, that is just the tip of the iceberg. One of the things I talk about in that free training is how there can be so many different categories, topics, ideas that students can find scholarships for. And the thing is, I know a lot of times we lump those twins together, the multiples together, but they are individual and unique people. So they might have specific topics that they can look for scholarships for, regardless of being a multiple. Maybe they're passionate about horses. You'll see an example about that. Maybe they love public speaking. You can also look into their career path. Maybe one's going into engineering and the other is going into English. So these are different categories that I would brainstorm together. This is something we work with students on inside the Scholarship System online course, but have a list of all the different ideas, and this will be unique by student, even if they are twin or multiple. And then we can uncover legitimate outside sources, outside funding that we can use for college. Now, you might be thinking, well, if it's not awarded by the institution, how does that work? As long as your students are choosing a accredited institution, most outside scholarships, unless they specifically state which school they can be used for, if they don't specifically state it, then they can be used for whatever accredited institution your children are choosing. So again, we want to look at those merit scholarships. We want to try to get any kind of discount we can from the institution if we have multiples, if your students are willing to go to the same place. But let's not forget about those outside sources where we can get, of course, again, we have a whole list of 11 scholarships for twins specifically, but we can get them for all these different topics that I mentioned. All right, so putting one kid through college is scary enough, never mind having twins or even more. But that said, hopefully this gives you an idea that there is money out there, even for students when you're enrolling multiple at the same time. You just have to know where to find it, what steps to follow to make it happen. So that is what we do with the scholarship system. So make sure that you hit subscribe, because every week we're releasing a new strategy. And then also make sure you attend that free training, because I'll walk you through step by step how to uncover these scholarships I'm talking about, and make sure that they are legitimate with less competition, because we don't want to waste our time on ones that we're not eligible for, or on ones that are 100,000 applicants and the chances of us winning are slim to none. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Again, it's Jocelyn with the Scholarship System. I will see you in the next video.